We have covered a lot of different weapons in Cyberpunk 2077, many of which being extremely overpowered. But to be fair, what? Oh, no! Oh, come on! Why was that dude just floating there? But yeah, we have covered a lot of really overpowered weapons in Cyberpunk 2077, but today we're going to be going over a weapon that actually flew under the radar for me, and it might be one of the most powerful pistols in the game. And I'm going to show you how to get it early. You can actually get this pretty much right at the beginning of the game if you want. You might need a little bit of defense, and I've got plenty of videos on how to acquire various armor pieces that'll help you during your playthrough, so maybe check out those if you are just starting on a brand new playthrough. And oh my god, I can't drive. Don't worry, I don't give any driving tutorials on the channel, okay? So you don't have to fret about how bad I am at driving. If only we could go the right direction. Now, that being said, we need to go to a specific location. Now, this is up in the ritzy area of Night City. And if we go over here to this location, and there's a giant building here with a suspected organized crime activity. This is actually where we need to go to acquire this weapon. Now, I'll also be going over some abilities and modifications you can do to this weapon to just make it absolutely ridiculously and unfairly OP. So we're just going to murder everybody here. And then once we're done murdering, we'll show you exactly where the item is. Also, if you haven't checked out my video on how to get the best katana in the game, I highly recommend it, because you can get this katana even if you missed it in the prologue. I showed a video on how to get up to the top of Konpeki Plaza, so if you happen to miss this katana, you need to get it. It is so stupidly good that it's a shame if you miss it, so make sure to check out that video. I'll leave it linked in the description below. Yo, robot boys, you don't stand a chance, homie. Now, before we show exactly what we came here for, I do want to mention that you can get through this area completely without killing anybody, but there are going to be some chances to actually get extra drops of this, which will increase your chances of getting the weapon that we want. So we do want the DR12 Quasar, but we don't want this specific one. We want one with a specific ability on it. So I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that, but if you come to this back room, so if we open up the map, you're going to come to this very back area here. And inside of this is going to have one of these big dudes here. Now, he has a chance of dropping this crafting spec right here, which is an iconic epic weapon called the Headsman. This is a shotgun. Definitely pick that up here while you can. Now, the item we are here for is if you go through the beginning area and you run to the right and then go straight back, we want to hang a little bit to the left here. And then what we want to grab is going to be right in this chest. Now, hold off on picking it up because we want to save before we pick this up. So we will actually probably need to kill everything in the area, or you could save outside and then run in if you don't want to waste your time murdering everybody. But we want this with a specific ability which fires 2 shots at once, which is going to drastically increase its DPS. Now, if your game won't let you be outside of a hostile area inside of this, and then just get right out here, and then we want to make a save game here. Now, if you did not get the weapon we want the first time you go up to that, we're going to go back and reload the save game, and we're going to go check out what we got this time. Once you reload, just run right back to the spot, and depending on your luck, you could have to do this one time or a ton of times. So hopefully you end up luckier than I am. So we got increased charge threshold to 75% on this one. We want the ability to fire 2 shots at once. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, I'm guessing, what is a very rare roll on this particular weapon. Fires 2 rounds at once, but significantly lowers the fire rate. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that all. We've got an empty scope slot and an empty mod slot. Well, it's got something in there, but we're going to replace that. But it comes with 951 DPS from here because it does scale to your level. So obviously, the higher level you are when you loot this, the more damage it's going to have. Now, before we add any modifications to it, we are going to upgrade this bad boy. And what's really nice about this as well is it is a tech weapon, so it's going to benefit from the tech boosts, as well as some other modifications that we can add to it. Now, we're going to fully upgrade this to our level, which gives it 1100.9 DPS. If you're max level, it's going to be quite a bit higher than that, but I'm only level 39 right now. Now keep in mind, this is only the epic version. We can still acquire a legendary version of this, but it's gonna do better than most of the shotguns you can get in the game. Quite frankly, the damage on this is absurd, especially if you're spec'd into tech weapons and into handguns. Now let's charge it up, and you can see here, it just becomes like an auto rifle. It's so much fun. This is probably gonna replace shotguns for me, because having that advantage of the tech stuff on here as well is just so good. I absolutely love this, but now we need to get the legendary version of this and see if we can unlock these special stats in the legendary as well. Oh, you know what? I found a legendary iconic submachine gun right here. So if you go to this location, which is going to be, I believe, yeah, this is Haywood. At the very southwestern edge of Haywood, you're going to see this skull here. And there's a guy in here that's got a legendary iconic crafting recipe in here. Nice. So there are a couple different ways to get the legendary crafting recipe for this, but the easiest one is actually to get it through crafting. Now, the crafting recipe is going to be locked behind level 18 crafting, and you're probably like, well, I have no interest in leveling crafting up to 18, but I got you. I got you. I'm going to show you the quickest way to level crafting ever, and you're going to love me, I promise. So, this is actually using a method that we showcased in our money-making guide, but what we want to do is actually sell something to this machine that we can disassemble. Now, it can literally be anything. It could even be soda cans because you can buy them back for cheap. But I actually want to be able to get a ton of these and disassemble them. It's for a whole nother reason. But you can do this with literally whatever. But what we're going to do is we're going to sell this to this machine. And then we're going to step away. We're going to go back and we're going to hit the sell and the options button at the same time. So the options button is going to be either the escape key or the options button or whatever opens up this menu here. You're going to hit that in conjunction with the sell button at the same time. Now, the goal is to get this screen to pop up that has a transparent background. It needs to have this transparent window here. And we're going to rebuy all of these a ton of times. So the reason why we're going to rebuy a ton of these is because we want a whole bunch of them in our inventory. Now, as I mentioned, you can do this with literally anything in the game, so you don't have to use it with the expensive item that I'm doing it with right now. But I'm doing it with this because I want the high-level crafting components that this is going to give me as well. But you might be like, well, this is going to cost a lot of money if I want to get all those crafting components. But I'll show you how to make all your money back here real quick as well. So I'm going to do this until I have, I don't know, maybe like a couple thousand or so. Now, once you've bought enough and you want to get all of your money back, just go ahead and exit. You're going to see now that you're going to obviously have spent all that money, but also all that money is going to be now available for you to get back from the ATM itself. Now, if you've been following along with my other videos, which I'll leave a link in the description below for the money-making guide, but you're going to have, you should have, or if not, you need to have a whole bunch of these maps. Now, thankfully, I have a ton of them. And so I'm just going to resell all of these maps up until the point to which there is money in the ATM. So we'll just go ahead and sell that and just instantly make our money back. Now, if we want, what we can do is we can exit out, go back in, and hit the options and that button at the same time. And we can rebuy these maps. So these maps sell for 4,000, but you can buy them back for 5 apiece. Now I can just rebuy all of those a ton of times and be able to restock on these so that way I can purchase or I can sell them anytime I need money. So now we get to the interesting part of this. Once you have a ton of a single item that you can disassemble, you're going to want to go into your inventory and we're going to go to disassemble it. Now I have a ton of these. The more items of this you have, the better this is going to work. Now we can hold to disassemble, but we're only going to disassemble one of them. And you're like, well, why am I going to do that? Well, for some reason, when you disassemble one item and you have like a ton of them, it gives you the entire XP for that entire stack. So we just leveled up our crafting there one time. So we were already at level 17. So now if we go back into our backpack and we go back to our consumables. And where did the item go? There it is. It's down there now. And then we do it again. sell it for, we're just going to disassemble one at a time. It's going to lag out, and it's going to give us a whole bunch of XP. So now you just do this until you max out your crafting, which is really, really easy. And there we go. Now we have the DR12 Quasar crafting recipe. Now I'm going to do some testing here, and I'm going to craft a bunch of these and see if we can get that extra bonus on there. Okay, so I wasn't able to make one that had that really nice firing 2 shots at once, but I was able to make one with 1765.3 DPS, 211.4 crit damage increase. We've got 100% crit chance on here, and 6.38 headshot damage multiplier. Ridiculous. Now I've got a whole bunch of crunch mods on here, which is increasing the DPS as well. So this is just gonna be really nice. We're gonna compare the two here real quick. Whoops, if I could hit somebody in the head, that'd be fantastic, since that's what we're 31,000 per headshot. Oh my god, that's just ridiculous. And the best part of this thing is that it's got 20 shots. It reloads very quickly, and then we didn't even get to use the fancy part of this, where when you hold to charge it down, it becomes a whole different kind of weapon. I mean, look at this. It's ridiculous, is what it is. Let's see how these fare against it. We'll fully charge it. I mean, they're gonna get one shot by it anyways. Oh, Tag. What are you doing with your life? There we go. Sorry, buddy. I know, 100% crit chance is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Then it also can light people on fire, too. Like, this person just lit me on fire. I think this might be one of my new favorite weapons, solely just because of how much ammo capacity it has. And then the damage multipliers on here for headshots are absolutely insane. But anyways, I do hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to slap that like button like it owes you money. Show the video some love, and I'll see you all in the next one.